Good afternoon, everybody. Today we are going to talk about the importance and skills of debating. And what skills do you need if you want to win a debate? So, important skills for debating. Consider the following. Your points must be relevant to the topic. Do not wander away from the topic. Do not get away from the topic, but stay on the topic, which has been seen very commonly that you stray away from the topic and start talking about something else. So your point must be relevant and to the point, to the topic. So whenever you are debating, offer evidence whenever you can, and do not ever include your personal opinion. You must put aside your personal views. Consider what the audience is listening to. Consider the audience interest, the audience attention span. Yes, they are glued to you. They are looking at you. You are on the spotlight speaking. So make it interesting for your audience. And then use rhetoric, use communication skills, use proper words, use powerful words to persuade, to convince the audience. So consider using the three pillars of rhetoric, the three pillars of communication skills, speeches, how to convince others, how to persuade, how to be a persuasive speaker. The first is the ethos. Ethos is the ethical appeal. It means say something which is right, say something which can be accepted, ethics, ethical, right, something which is morally accepted. The pathos. The pathos is the emotional appeal. So when you're speaking, speeches are all about ethos. Ethos, the ethical appeal, the moralistic, the holistic, the everything which is right, ethos. The ethical. Ethical appeal means something which is right. Pathos. The emotional appeal, something which without emotion you cannot convince others. And then the logos, the logical appeal. So you have to be ethically right, you have to put in emotion, and you have to be logical. So never forget the ethos, the ethical appeal, the pathos, the emotional appeal, and the logos, the logical appeal when you're speaking. Yes, you can use notes, but keep them brief. Do not read your notes aloud, but then you're allowed to keep notes as brief as you can and use a different piece of paper for rebuttals. On a lighter mood, in lighter vein, introduce jokes if you're naturally good at it. Otherwise, this can backfire. Say something humorous, say something which can add up value to your point, but do it naturally. Do it if you're naturally good at it. If you're witty, otherwise, don't. Talking about the voice, speak clearly and concisely. Clarity is something which is very important. Clarity of voice, clarity of thoughts, clarity of words, and concisely. Do not drag on to a story. Verbosity, like no. Use less words and prove your point. Be concise as you can. Concise and precise, to the point. Do not drag on a story. And now the speech rate. You must talk fast enough to be understood. but do not be too fast, right? You must talk fast enough to have the time to deliver your point, your speech, but slow enough so you can be understood. So your speech rate should be moderate, not too fast, not too slow, but just moderate. And yes, be dramatic, include dramatic pauses. Pauses are indeed important. I would like to say that be dramatic in your communication, your body language, your speeches, and be very careful of those meaningful pauses. Those pauses can be heard loud and clear. When you stop and start again, the pauses are very meaningful. It should be meaningful. Include those dramatic pauses. Emphasize important words. I said words are powerful. Use powerful words, emphasize on those words, and your tone can be fluctuating. Use your tone properly. You can highlight your voice with your tone, you can go high, you can go low, vary your tone appropriately. And what is tone? Tone is the rising and the falling of the voice. Use it. Confidence. The word speaks volumes. You you look, if you are confident, you will look confident. Have a relaxed frame of mind, a relaxed posture, a relaxed pose, and avoid filler words. What are these filler words? Like, I would like to say, what was I talking about? Like this and like that. Are. So these are filler words. Avoid that. Know your content. Know your material. Know what you're going to talk about. Be up there. Yes, I know this. Emphasize using gestures, hands, body language, pace around. Look at the audience. Be attentive to your team members. Even if you are nervous, yes, we all seem to be nervous in public speaking, but then fake it, like avoid that nervous gestures. Do not, when people are nervous, they talk too fast. They use their hands, they pace about, they jitter, they fritter, but then avoid showing that you are nervous, even if you're. Maintain eye contact. Look at the audience, look at your team members, listen to the person who's talking, listen to the person, what he's saying, what she's saying. Listen to, so that you can speak, so that you can answer when you're rebutting. And yes, language. Keep it simple. Keep your language simple to avoid confusion. Refer to the opposite side as my opponent, my friend. When making a rebuttal, say, my opponent said, he remarked. However, I agree to differ. Don't exaggerate. Don't put undue emphasis. Exaggerate a story. Don't stretch. Don't pull. Do not drag on. Avoid words never or always. No, this has never happened. I have always said this, and this has always been done. So the words like never and always, etc. These are strong negative words. Avoid that. Avoid saying that a speaker is wrong. Don't say that. Instead, you cannot say that, yes, my speaker, my friend, my opponent is wrong. Don't say that. Instead, say that your idea is mistaken, right? And what to avoid? Don't falsify. Don't make up stories. Don't alter evidence. Do not prove yourself that, yes, you're trying to make up stories, something which is not true. Don't alter with the evidence. Do not publicly disagree with the judges, decisions. Do not be in an attacking mood. Do not be aggressive. Attacking a speaker rather than an idea. You can attack, but in a very polite way. So, attacking a speaker rather than an idea, right? Acting aggressively or offensively, do not do that. Do not attack. Do not be aggressive. Do not be offensive. Do not cause harm. Do not cause hurt to anyone. Hurt towards debaters, judges, or audience. Do not be rude. Do not interrupt other debaters, as this can suggest that your argument isn't strong enough. Disagreeing with facts or obvious truths. Do not do that. Do not disagree with something which is true, something which is a fact, which is obviously, which is something ethical. So I hope for the Communication Fest, you're going to follow the guidelines. And yes, debating is debating. It's not fighting. So keep that in mind. And the most important thing is you have to be in a frame of mind. Like, yes, you are debating on a topic. You're not attacking. Do not be aggressive, but be polite. So deliberate debate. Deliberately trying to debate on something, on any point, can be very satisfying. And it will give a lot of edge. You're being exposed to a lot of people. People are listening to you. You're on the limelight, spotlight. So make the most of it. And yes, happy debating.